The Rockets keep their season alive.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to First Take. Happy Monday. What a weekend. Playoff basketball in full swing. Yeah, the series now tied at 3-1 after the Lakers lose 115-96. Let's hear from LeBron James before we get to Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. After scoring 10 points on 2 made field goals and 8 turnovers. Watch.
Obviously, we know coming into the series, we have to protect the ball versus them, not have too many pick sixes, which we did all night. And, I mean, it started with me, obviously. My turn was unacceptable, but, you know, we do a better job with that on Wednesday. We understand that offensive rebounds for them and pick sixes is not going to be good for our ball club.
Pick sixes in basketball, never a good thing. Let's hear from Stephen A. Good morning, Stephen A. What's your view of LeBron and the Lakers after
Hold on. First of all, good morning to you, Shay. It's good to see you. My big brother, Big Perk, good morning. On this show, we don't hear from LeBron James before we hear from Stephen A. Just for future reference. On this show, you understand what I'm saying? He comes second. On this show, Big Perk, he comes second, okay? You hear from us first. So good morning. That's how we should have started off everything. It ain't your fault, Shay. It ain't your fault. But to the producers there for future reference, no. He's second. You understand what I'm saying? He's second, not first. This is First Take. Now, having said all of that, let me say this. LeBron James, everything about it is an aberration. I'm not concerned at all about what we saw from him in Game 4. LeBron James was phenomenal the first 3 games of this series. It was a bad game. You know, my view of him after the Game 4 loss is that, it was fatigue. 41 years of age, 23rd season, being out there on the basketball court, no Luka, no Austin Reeves, and Houston was desperate. They were on the brink of elimination, down 3-0. They had to do what they had to do to survive. All hands were on deck, and they got all up in him, and it was defending them and what have you. He was averaging about 19 shots, only took about 9 shots last night, 10 points, 9 assists. You understand, only made 2 field goals. We know that's not LeBron James. That was a complete aberration. To me, Wednesday night, you'll see a level of normalcy towards LeBron James because it'll be 2 additional days of rest. He will be much, much more ready Wednesday than he was yesterday. And that I don't make much of what happened in Game 4 to LeBron James at all.
Go ahead, Perk.
No, S.A., I'm with you. This was more and all about the Rockets. Because, Shay, I live down here in H-Town in Houston. And the fan base and the media has been on the Rockets' asses like back pockets. You knew it was coming, S.A. But damn it, this was about the Rockets, and this was about the name on the front of the jerseys and the names on the back of the jerseys. Because no NBA player, no NBA organization wants to get swept. And what we saw last night, when we saw the Rockets get back to their identity, right? Starting on the defensive end, the perimeter play from Amen Thompson and Tari Eason, those guys locking in, taking Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard out of the game, right? Basically holding both of those guys to under 10 points apiece. And we saw them get out in transition. And then offensively, we saw the Rockets finally make shots, which has been their Achilles heel all season long and in this series, starting with Reed Shepherd. They shot 40% from the 3. So, yes, LeBron, he did look old last night. Rightfully so. He's 41 years of age. But past that, this was more about the Rockets and less about the Lakers.
Well, listen, and that's the whole thing. And listen, the fact of the matter is Houston should be all over the Rockets like back pockets. They've been atrocious. There's no excuse for them to be down 3-0 in this series. With or without KD, without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, you don't go down 3-0 to a Lakers team led by a 41-year-old in his 23rd season with a bunch of supplementary parts we barely talk about, when Luka and Austin Reeves are around. Luke Kennard deserves all the credit in the world for his performance in Game 1. We know he's a sniper. We know he's a big-time shooter. He's been around the league for a lot of years. He deserves credibility. I love me some Marcus Smart. The brother can play. I know what he did for Boston. I was always sad, Big Perk, that Boston won the title without him. if there was a Boston Celtics, if there was ever a Boston Celtic that deserved to be a champion, you know, when they went on their run, it was a Marcus Smart because of the years and what he meant to the franchise. I've always felt that way. I've always had a lot of affection for Marcus Smart, who did whatever it took. You know what? He was a smaller, better offensive version of Tony Allen, who I was just hanging out with him and Zebo the other day, by the way, your boys. I was just hanging out with them the other day. The point is, on their podcast. But I'm just saying that, but Marcus Smart was that kind, you know, that kind of rough rider that gave you all he had. And I view him as somebody who deserves to be a champion. So I'm not trying to throw any shade on anybody on the Los Angeles Lakers, but their role players at this particular point in time, led by a 41-year-old. How are you, the Houston Rockets, led by Ime Udoka, you know, playing with Jabari Smith, Alperen Şengün, you know, Amen Thompson and those brothers, and you down 3-0 to the Los Angeles Lakers, sans Luka and AR? That is disgraceful. And you had every right to call them out. The city of Houston had every right to call them out. And as far as I'm concerned, if they lose Wednesday night, they should still be called out. And even though KD is hurt, we all find ourselves looking at KD like, damn, you don't have anything. You can't get on that basketball court and get. He must really, really be hurt, because this is KD we talking about here, who looks for an excuse to play basketball, who once used to. I mean, I don't know whether the stories were true or not. Big Perk, you would know. But if there was a nightclub to go to, he'd roll up in there with a basketball and a sweatsuit. I mean, this is how much this brother loves basketball. So when KD is sitting out and not playing, that is shocking. That he is not available for a couple of playoff games in the first round. That's really, really shocking. But in the end, Houston is talented enough, Shay. There's no excuse for them to be down, to ever have been down 3-0 in this series without Luka and AR on the court. There is no excuse for that, and they deserve to be crucified for it.
That's right. So does it change the perception of the Lakers and LeBron? Probably not, because I think everyone thinks they're going to close it out in the next game. That would also help them out with a little bit of health.
So Iman alluded to the post-game sound after game 3, and so those guys wanted to show up. They forced 30 points off of turnovers. They actually shot the 3 ball well. And if you remember, going back to the first 2 games in particular, the 3 has been the pendulum swing in this series. And so they shoot 40% from the 3-point line. The Lakers shoot 22% from the 3-point line. Like, that's a big piece of your storyline as well. But they look, and they are, the younger team, more spry in terms of their legs and their effort. This one was about pride.
What's your takeaway, Han?
Yeah, just so I agree with you. That's how you load manage in the playoffs. LeBron wasn't really attacking as much early in this game. He stayed at the top of the offense. He was doing a lot of ball handling. They were jumping him a lot of times. Anytime he turned around, you could see they saw something on film and they exploited it. Alperen Şengün had an impassioned speech with his team to try to make sure that they weren't embarrassed with a sweep and make sure that they just take it one game at a time and get that home win. But for the Lakers with LeBron, those first 3 games of this series, he's averaged over 41 minutes a game, took 19 shots. He had heroic plays in game 3 to win that game in overtime, to steal that game, because that game looked like it was over until they made big plays late. So you have to feel like now, don't mess around. If they get Austin Reeves back for game 5 Wednesday in LA, you've got to win that game, because Kevin Durant still has to work himself back into the lineup. But if he does, that adds a different element now for the Rockets.
Friday night, I thought, dictated what happened on Sunday. Now Wednesday becomes the game. Lakers win that, they go on, and then they've accomplished what they're good. They're running into Oklahoma City next. Whoever wins this series is playing OKC next. If you watch them play right now, they're like a buzzsaw. They're a basketball buzzsaw. But there were a lot of big storylines in the NBA this weekend, and we're going to dive into them more deeply as the hour continues.